I'm very fortunate today to be joined by Chris Mason of Darting Glory, but as we all know from previous times, a massive boxing fan. Chris, just been announced a few days ago now, maybe a week ago, Floyd Mayweather's fighting Manny the Pac-Man Pacquiao. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. I mean, the debate's been out there for a long time that maybe it would have been best 5 years ago. But for me, I don't think it makes a lot of difference. I think it's one of them mega fights. They'll both be up for it. They'll both train to the max for it, and they'll both be in incredible condition. It's a tough night. For me, I think Pacquiao of 5-6 years ago, around the time when he devastated Ricky Hatton and Cotto, Margarito, he was a lot quicker and seemed to have a lot more power. For me, it's going to be as it would have been then. I think he's just going to be chasing him around and countered. Canelo couldn't get anywhere near Floyd, much bigger man, and he just chased him around the ring. And I think the same's going to for Pacquiao. I don't think Mayweather's Pacquiao's style is the kind of style that will ever beat Mayweather. For me, it's a perfect fight for Mayweather. He'll look amazing.
And do you see that going on points? Or?
Yeah. I think possibility of a cut, because we know what Mayweather's like. He likes to use the elbows, and he's a fairly dirty inside fighter. And Pacquiao's going to have to commit. He will have to commit. I mean, it's in some people's book they say about Amir Khan would be perfect to beat Mayweather, and for me that kind of style is. Do I think Khan will beat Mayweather? Not in a million years. But that kind of style, someone who's rangy, quick, inside and outside. For me, I think Mayweather would stop Khan.
I think that would be a more competitive fight whilst it lasts.
Yeah, be more exciting.
But it won't go the distance.
No.
Whereas the Pac-Man fight could be a painful night, but could
be a long night for Manny. I think he gets beat by decision, fairly wide. You look over the years, probably only Castillo. You could sort of say, for me, I gave that Castillo fight, well, a draw or Castillo by a round. When they had the rematch, obviously we know what happened there. He got dominated by Mayweather. But yeah, when you talk about rounds lost, that's probably the most rounds he's. You could put all them rounds together. That's probably as many rounds he's lost in his career. Certainly when he's reached this elite level he's at now.
You don't think that the Pac-Man can ask him some questions that he hasn't been asked before?
No, I think it's very similar to a lot of fighters. Zab Judah had all the movement and speed. He done reasonably well against Mayweather. Shane Mosley. We're talking about fighters of their era were dominant within their divisions. But I mean, they both moved through the divisions. But every time you think that Mayweather will look smaller against an opponent, he seems to grow. And he's always in the gym. That guy keeps fit 24/7. Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. I mean, he eats a lot of crap, which is incredible. Considering how much of an athlete he is. But he's always in shape. And I think it's just his ring craft. I mean, so many have tried, and like you said, he's made really, really great fighters look ordinary.
Yeah. Do you think there's a potential though that he grows old overnight, Mayweather?
A lot of people said he was slipping, and I mean, Maidana was, he was aggressive. I certainly would have liked to have seen a ref like that when Ricky Hatton fought Mayweather, who allowed him to sort of get inside, allowed him to rough him up a little bit. But again, in the rematch, it's clinical. He is a technician. In my time, I don't think I've seen a better all-round fighter in terms of ability, defense, movement. He also has the ability, which is rare in fighters. He has a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. He can adjust. He can make small adjustments, and I think that's what stands him out as probably one of the best ever fighters. We say that I'm not a huge fan. I like people who take risks they're taking a risk full stop, but he never commits. But that's why he's unbeaten. And he's such a megastar. I'd like to see him. I think he'll go all out against Pacquiao.
Changing the subject a little bit to the event itself, they're talking about this being biggest boxing event almost in the history of the sport. Maybe not from attendance purposes, because if we go back to sort of pre-TV days, there were some massive events. But certainly from a revenue perspective and an interest perspective and worldwide television perspective, they're saying this could be the biggest boxing events in the history of the sport. The tragedy, some people are saying, however, is that because of the cost of the tickets, they're talking about £5,000 for the basic ticket, that there's not going to be many boxing fans in the hall. Do you have any feels that is that really going to affect the event? Is it going to take the heart out of it?
Yeah, I'd like to have seen it have been an open air event, maybe. You know, I mean, the buys it's going to get is going to. I think it will break every record. You know, I think it's the most anticipated fight. Certainly, again, that I can remember. You know, Holyfield Tyson was a huge one, and Lewis Tyson. You know, and De La Hoya was the pay-per-view king. But yeah, I would like to have seen it in a bigger venue. The MGM Grand is, I think it's 12,000 seats. Is it? Yeah, probably.
A bit more than
that.
Is
it? Okay. Yeah, it's too small for me, but that's the business. You know, it's for the mega rich. You know, and Floyd is the best paid boxer out there. You know,
they don't call him Money Mayweather.
Maybe exactly, and he's got bundles. You know, private jets, the Bentleys, the Bugattis. I mean, he's got 2 Bugattis. You know, and you know he's the ultimate showman. But yeah, I'd love to have seen it in a bigger venue, but that's American boxing. It's not their thing. I mean, you look at Froch Groves doing Wembley. You know, 80,000 tickets. You know, that's what we can do here. Quig Frampton will do similar, in my opinion. You know, I think that's a mega fight. But yeah, I think it's unfortunate for boxing fans. I'd love to have gone the fight, but you know, what am I going to do? Go and watch it on closed circuit TV in a casino and spend all that money if you can get a hotel? I think the MGM Grand sold out in 15 minutes. The hotel, and I think it's 6,000 rooms, maybe.
Yeah, I know. Even for press, we've got people going out there, and they're staying in Henderson, which is like
just outside,
a village just outside.
Yeah, I think it's a shame for hardcore fans, but you know, it's going to be a pay-per-view event. I don't know whether it's been announced what channel we're going to have on over here. I don't know whether, because Box Nation have been doing a lot of the Mayweather fights. And
it can only really be Box Nation or Sky.
Or Sky, pay-per-view on Sky. But I mean, it will. I mean, it's a, you know, people of our era. We're not, you know, I don't think we'll see a fight like this, you know, for a long time of 2 of the elite, and they are. You know, there's no question that these are of our generation 2 of the greatest fighters. When you look what Pacquiao did to the big guys, you know, I mean, what did he start off? 122 pounds, you know, and he's fighting Miguel Cotto, and he absolutely demolished him, and that's the guy who's the middleweight champion of the world now.
Yeah,
you know, it is incredible, but you know, better late than never. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think from my perspective, and I think from our fans' perspective, it was a fight we were beginning to believe wasn't going to happen.
No, there was a chance.
And now that it has happened, at least there's a question that it's not going to be one of those things, if what sort of situation.
I mean,
but what the discussion is going to be now, of course, is whatever happens, people will say, what would have happened 5 years ago?
Yeah, that is the problem. You know, if Manny gets schooled, then it'll be, he only beat him now because he's 35 or whatever else. They'll forget about the fact that, you know, Mayweather's a few years older. You know. But yeah, I think there is that, and that's the problem with it.
Do you think that both of them will fight on after the fight?
Yeah, I mean, where do they go? You know, who does Floyd fight next? You know you know, I'd like to see him maybe go up another weight. I think he can. You know, I mean, it's a bit of a fantasy fight, but I'd love to see him fight someone like Golovkin.
Wow.
You know, but I think Golovkin is probably too big, but.
Yeah, Golovkin, after Mayweather, I'd say Golovkin has to be the next best fighter.
Oh, he's incredible. He's my current favourite fighter, absolutely. And I mean, his fight with Murray, I mean, how brave was Murray? You know, I mean, when you...
Probably you could argue Murray sort of earned him sort of bragging rights there as the second best.
Yeah, I mean, when you think that he got robbed on a few decisions, Murray, I thought he was going to get mauled, and it looked that way early on, but... guts, absolutely. He earned his money. Whatever he got paid wasn't enough, and I mean that's what it's like. You see a lot of fighters quit, and you think, well, you show a little bit more heart, like what Murray did. But Golovkin, I think, special. Same as Kovalev. I think you know, we've got two fighters that are really gonna shine for us over the next few years.
Well, of course, you mentioned one other fight, which we'll just have a quick chat about before we finish this off, which was Frampton Quigg.
How good was Frampton against Avalos? I mean, he just gets better and better and better.
How do you see that fight?
Well,
see, I'm a big fan of Quigg.
yeah, I am. I think he's underrated. I think he gets a lot of stick for the fact that he didn't actually win his world title, or it's not a genuine world title. But you know, it's an interesting fight. He's bigger. I think Quigg's underrated. A couple of years ago, I would put it close, but for me, I just think Frampton's too good, and he'll trade. He'll do anything you want. He'll box you at length, and he'll go inside with you. He'll dance with you all night long, and he's got power, genuine power. And I don't think Quigg's a fighter that will allow him not to engage. I think Quigg will have it with him. And no way is that going the distance. You know, that's a fight. I think Quigg's power is underrated. I think he can bang. I think he's hitting harder as he's developing. He's got his man strength. I think. I mean, I got to go for Frampton. I think Frampton wins by stoppage, but you know, it wouldn't be the biggest shock in the world if Quigg found a way to win. I think he's got a good camp. I think he's got a good trainer, and I think if he stuck to his game plan, it would be a lot closer. I mean, everybody thinks Frampton blows him away, including me, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was the other way around.
Chris, as always, it's great to catch up with you at these darts tournaments. We never speak darts, we speak boxing.
Absolutely.
But thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of the tournament, and thanks so much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.